Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Acrisure Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tonight we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
Set now to wrap up a busy week of football. Happy to have you with us. And, folks, we are underway on Monday Night Primetime. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
They'll swing this out to Marks.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? They were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd and 9. Stroud sets up the play action. This one taken in by Stover.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now a run. Here's the rookie from USC.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. Still a couple of yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Stroud looking to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. they can get involved in the run game as well.
And Stroud now to throw.
That's complete. It's Collins. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Marks now on 1st and 10.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
But that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Now he's going to step up and run.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
C.J. Stroud.
An 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Texans will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Well, now how about this return?
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
On play action, now Rodgers.
Targeting the out route, and he completes this to Metcalf.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start.
Warren will try to right side.
And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. Now it's Rodgers. That's caught. He gets it out to Austin. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. Moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Still 3rd down.
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. From midfield, here's Rodgers.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Now runs straight ahead with Warren. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
To throw is Rodgers. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
Shotgun now for Rodgers.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Steelers first down. First and goal at the 8-yard line.
A very important third down conversion right there because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up first and goal.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the gun, it's Rodgers.
Left side here taken in by Metcalf.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
A tough time to take the sack. Now it's 4th and goal, and that's a loss of 6.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try.
28-yard attempt.
Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Chris Boswell.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Stroud to throw it.
And a Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Stroud. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot.
The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
Now Rodgers. He finds Austin complete. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
At the 23-yard line.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down.
Here's Rodgers to throw.
Now he'll tuck this and run.
What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
At the 33-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Rodgers.
They'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Working from the gun, Rodgers.
Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's 2nd down.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
On play action, Rodgers.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Throwing now is Rodgers. That is caught. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
To throw, it's Rodgers.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Four seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, they'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins.
That's caught inside the 20.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here as we are just about ready for the start of the second half.
The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Looking to put a drive together. Here's Rodgers.
And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's 2nd and 10. On the give, it's Warren.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. A handoff for Warren. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
The Waitman now to punt as he sends this one away.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And the Texans will take over. Looking to put a drive together. Stroud off the play fake.
He's got a man. It's his fullback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
From the 31, here comes 2nd and a yard. Option right, here's Stroud. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. But I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
We'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Play action. Stroud now.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
Alex Highsmith able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. Now Stroud. And he's going to go down again. Derek Harmon. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here's Austin. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. A short one there to Freiermuth. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
8 yards.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
2 yards to go, second down. On the run, it's Warren.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. Rodgers with a keeper. And he will have the Steelers first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on Monday Night Primetime. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. They'll run it. Warren. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
2nd and 6.
Throwing is Rodgers.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 6.
Rodgers now to throw.
They'll get this complete to Austin. And he will have the Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good for a Steelers first down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Here's Warren. Derek Stingley, he got there in a hurry, and he earns the TFL.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 39. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Steelers first down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 39-yard line. Rodgers going to throw.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. 2nd down and 3. First carry for Kenneth Gainwell. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now Roman Warren.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side. I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. They toss it to Warren.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Jalen Warren,
A 16-yard touchdown run.
and the Steelers put together a 4th quarter drive to take the lead. Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
The Steelers will line up for the
To throw is Rodgers. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more.
Steelers 14, Texans 7.
He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So Stroud and the Texans
Down 14-7. A minute 51 on the clock. They need a touchdown and the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10.
Throw by Stroud, complete out wide.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
Now 2nd and 4. Here's Stroud.
And he completes it to Barrios.
And he is going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
But you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
Stroud. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Here's second down. Now Stroud.
The quick hitter complete. It's Schultz. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. Stroud to throw it. He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins, 47 yards. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays.
And it was Nico Collins who finished it off with a touchdown reception. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And able to get this out to the 25.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
14 yards.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back to throw, Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Now a handoff up the middle.
Warren. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Warren.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was going to say could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
A gain of 17 yards. And the Steelers first down. First and goal at the 5-yard line. Chris Boswell.
And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. This to put an end to a wild Monday night. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Steelers have won the game. Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles, but a clean one, too. No turnovers in this contest.
And I think you're exactly right about that. To me, this is just a pair of offenses trying to find the slightest bit of separation from each other. And they were both hoping that the other side would make the big mistake first. But today, neither side made that mistake. And what we got, a very entertaining game throughout.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.
The Steelers earn the win at home as we say so long from Pittsburgh.